This hour by Frederick Remington, fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. Exclusive, no refrigeration, 10-year extended shelf life bacon. The thickest, meatiest center-cut bacon in the industry at fullycookedbacon.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good Saturday, July 29th, to all of you tuned in, and it's really a pleasure having you on this show since you obviously have a lot of other choices on a Saturday. I'm your host and guide, Mark Leibovit, using my financial, political, spiritual, and musical time machine format here. So we have a little entertainment along with information. The show is archived on iTunes, iHeartRadio, GCN.com, GCNLive.com, and many of you may remember me as being one of the 10 elves on the old RUKEYSER Wall Street Week television program, or maybe as a market monitor guest with Paul KANGAS on PBS's Nightly Business Report. Meanwhile, I want to thank Swiss America for helping sponsor the program, and please mention Wall Street Raw when you do call into their free 800 number for their books. They have 3 great books, Don't Bank on It, The Secret War on Cash, Money, Morality, and the Machine, and I'll remind you of that phone number since they are my sponsor, 800-289-2646. That's 800-289-2646. You'll hear more about that during the program. As I always do, a lineup of interesting guests from across the financial spectrum are waiting to join us. This week we have Jason Bond, Kyle Dennis, both from RagingBull.com, Lowell Ponte, who's a futurist, and co-author with Craig Smith at Swiss America for several of the books that I had just mentioned. He was a reporter, talk show host, and author, and it's always a pleasure having new and interesting guests on the program. Of course, Sinclair No will be joining us as well, Don VIALOUX and Henry Weingarten, so we have a jam-packed show for you this week. Meanwhile, it's end of the month window dressing. You could see everybody was piling into the major stock averages here at the end of the week, particularly the Dow Industrials, but it's interesting. Most of the move that we saw the last couple of days was a result of a move in Boeing, ticker symbol BA. During that time, the last couple of days, the Dow was up 183 points, and the S&P was actually down 2 points, and the NASDAQ was down 30 points. So, we may be running into the end of this little bit of euphoric period here. And as I mentioned the last few weeks, August, September can possibly be a little treacherous, though I still think the bull market is still intact. Crude oil prices tacked on about $4 this week, and Saudi Arabia vowed this past Monday to cut exports in August, helping kick off the rally. So that's what was sort of interesting, and a lot of else to talk about here. So let's get to Don VIALOUX. Well, I'm waiting for Don's pre-taped interview, which we taped on Friday. Well, Don VIALOUX joined us on Friday on a pre-taped interview, so we're trying to get that up for you here. Meanwhile, let's talk about the Bank of America study, Merrill Lynch study here that came out this past couple of weeks, had a survey of 207 investors with a total of $586 billion under management. The money managers that were surveyed, and there was a net 20% underweight in U.S. stocks, according to that survey. That's despite the major averages setting new records at almost on a weekly basis. So that's really interesting that there's been a lot of cautiousness on the part of money managers here in the last several weeks. That was really surprising, and maybe not so surprising, as they're probably all too concerned that the market is going up. Let's go for Don. All right, so we had an interview with Henry Weingarten. Let's see if Henry's available. All right, we're having trouble with our two pre-taped interviews this morning, folks, so I can't really help change the technical picture here, but so let's go over some of the active stocks this past week in the market, and the ones with the biggest percentage gainers. So I apologize for not being able to bring those two interviews to you. They're very timely. Meanwhile, let's go down the list here on a point gain basis. iRobot, which really has been a hot stock here in recent months, was up 18 3/4 points to 107.25. Let's see, Cable One, that's ticker symbol IRBT, by the way. Cable One was up 18 points to 758, big stock this past week. Boston Beer was up about 17 points this week. That's ticker symbol SAM. Cable One, by the way, is CABO. Align Technology was up 14 points this past week. That's ALGN. And closed at 173. Americo, that's the company that owns U-Haul. And the symbol actually is UHAL, was up 13 points this past week to 386. MKTX, that's Market Taxes Holdings, was up 13 points to 207.84. We have a lot of expensive stocks in this market. When you look at names like Priceline and Amazon, you think they're high, and we still have a lot of $200 stocks around. Automatic Data Processing, that's ADP, was up 13 points this past week to 117. Scientific Games, that's SGMS, has also been hot here this past week. A lot of money has been flowing into the gaming industry, up 12 points this week to 38.70. Clovis Oncology, that's CLVS, that's up 11 1/4 points this past week to 98.02. WebMD up nicely this week, about 11 points. That's WBMD up at 68.18. Dillard's recovering here a little bit, was up 11 points. That's DDS at 78.87. Meanwhile, let's look at the ones that didn't do so well this past week. We don't always get a chance to look at all of them. We're having a little time here this morning. MicroStrategy, that's MSTR, was down 48 points this week to 140. Mettler Toledo, that's MTD, down 35.5 points to 578. Google, GOG, of course, that's down 31.40 this week, down to 941. As we see happening here, some of the bigger names are underperforming, which is a sign that we might be getting closer to that correction. Domino's Pizza, that's DPZ. That was down about 30 points this past week to 183. Eagle Pharmaceuticals, that's EGRS, down 25 points to 50.48. Meta Financial Group, that's CASH, CASH, down 21 points to 71.85. Ellie Mae, that's ELLI, down 19.20 to 90.69. Capella Education, down 17.85 for the week. That's CPLA at 70.10. And Allegiant to Travel, ALGT, down 15 points this past week to 129.95. Oh, and we don't want to forget about Buffalo Wings, BWLD, down 14 points this week to 108.48. Whirlpool was down, about 14 points to 177.76, and that's WHR. Don't touch your dial. Hopefully we'll have technicals working here, and we can bring you Lowell Ponte on segment 2.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
Love or loathe him, Donald J. Trump is our 45th president. There is no denying now that Trump will go down in history, both despised and admired. Commemorate Trump's presidency with your very own Trump silver bust from TrumpSilverStatue.com. This museum-quality heirloom Trump silver statue bust is hand-cast from 20 troy ounces of silver, a great investment. From TrumpSilverStatue.com. Loathed or loved, own a valuable piece of Trump's legacy. Get your solid silver Trump bust today at TrumpSilverStatue.com.
Investing is a long-term process. How many times can you think of in the last decade that the stock market has destroyed retirement funds for people just like you and me? For your existing IRA, you need the security that gold has provided for centuries. Remember, gold has never been worth zero. Capital Gold would like to introduce you to the Home Storage Gold IRA. It's a self-directed IRA set up with all the protection and tax benefits of an LLC. But the big difference in this IRA is you invest in gold and you hold it in your possession. You can't do that with stocks. That's security. You can transfer any type of IRA hassle-free in days. Please call right now and learn more, and we'll waive the $500 setup fee and give you a free safe to store your gold. 800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. That's 800-535-7789.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I'm here to tell you about GCNTelecare.com, a team of board-certified doctors assisting you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Within 15 minutes of registration, care your family can afford. Revolutionizing the healthcare industry, virtual consulting providing diagnosis of non-emergency medical issues by phone or secure video on computer or smart mobile devices. GCNTelecare.com, virtual care anywhere.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-557-0158. That's 800-557-0158. Again, 800-557-0158.
Are you one of the 15 million men who suffer from an enlarged prostate? If your life revolves around finding the closest bathroom, if you're tired of waking up many times a night to urinate, then you need to know about Prostate Miracle. Prostate Miracle contains beta-cytosterol, which is 3,000 times stronger than salt palmetto. To claim your $10 Patriot discount, go to prostatemiracle.com and enter promo code PATRIOT. Or call 877-965-2140. That's 877-965-2140.
Think big. Think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back, my good friend, and always special guest, Don VIALOUX from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. Don is the past president of the Canadian Society of Technical Analysts, and most notably, he was the advisor to the Horizons Seasonal Rotation ETF as a manager from 2009 to 2015. Don, thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Well, an interesting week. First, let's talk about the Canadian dollar. Big pop on good news on Friday.
Yeah, the May GDP figure came out on Friday and much stronger than expected. Canada's economy is growing at a 4.6% annual rate. That's fastest among the G7 nations. That quickly popped the Canadian dollar to around the 80.5 cent level. Canadian dollar has soared over the last 2 months. It's up almost 10%. It could be flaming out, but for now, that's good news, and the Canadian dollar has been going higher.
Gold and gold stocks had a good week.
Yeah, gold and gold stocks, fantastic week. They're following their seasonal trend, showing strength from the third week in July to the first week in October. A move by gold to resistance to around the $1,300 per ounce level is quite possible during this current period of seasonal strength.
Second quarter earnings reports also are important here as well, right?
Yeah, a word of caution here. Second quarter reports for the S&P 500 companies have been phenomenal, much better than expected. I guess over 80% of reporting companies today have reported better than expected consensus or numbers. However, unless the earnings reports were blowout, many of the stocks actually sold off on the news. So we're getting a lot of sell on news when second quarter reports on S&P 500 companies have been coming out. So just a word of caution here.
Yeah, plus your work is saying that we're in a seasonally negative period for the markets as well, correct?
That's correct. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the S&P 500 stocks, of the stocks that broke out or broke down last week, there were more S&P 500 stocks that actually broke support than resistance. So just a bit of caution here.
Don, thank you for joining us. Our good friend Don VIALOUX from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.com. See you next week, Don. Thanks for joining us, and have a good weekend.
Thank you, Mark.
Welcome back, our good friend and always special guest, Henry Weingarten from the Astrologers Fund. Henry's a 50-year veteran of the markets, and if you've been listening to the show for the last couple of years, you know he's made some spectacular calls, both on individual stocks and the markets. And without going over all of them, the most recent big one was the short call in Tesla, which had a nice break right after Henry had talked about shorting the stock. Thanks for getting back with us on the Saturday morning, Henry. Appreciate it.
Thank you. As you know, within a few days of a yellow market alert, before August 4th, we recommend doing something, whether it's raising cash, writing calls, shorting the market, buying puts, that sort of thing. Now, that's going to be lasting through September, but on the other hand, we don't see the markets going straight down. On Friday, the market hit our target, which was 21,800 roughly on the Dow, which was our short. In fact, went down 100 points twice for it as a day trade. But effectively, that's a very critical point. Doesn't mean the market won't go higher, especially later in the year. But if you're the type of person that likes to sleep at night, you definitely want to lock in some profits now because there's risk. Now, again, the risk is not that great. We think the NASDAQ will probably just go to 5,800 or 6,000 as an example. But stocks are going to get hit the way Amazon was hit. Now, Amazon's holding the $1,000 level, but quite frankly, with 196 PE, you know, this is like the old days. It's like 2001. So you're going to see some of the NASDAQ stocks hit very strongly as we get to August. On the other hand, we're still very bullish on Trump, even though things weren't moving as fast as we would like. So we think the market's good. So basically, it's time to rotate. It's time to protect. Our gold is doing nicely. We're happy. We're trying to decide when it hits around 1320, whether we take some profits or just lock it in, because it's still worth about 1380. But you got to take your profits or they go away.
Henry, you covered it all. That's a fantastic summary. Really appreciate having you on. I know you're taking a couple of weeks off, but following the markets, and we'll have you back next week as we get closer to that August time frame. We'll start biting our nails here a little bit, I guess. But thank you again.
We're making some money. We're making some money about it.
Yeah, let's buy some inverse ETFs. Okay. Have a great week. Henry Weingarten from the Astrologers Fund. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
Great.
Thank you, Henry, and thank you, Don. And we pre-taped those interviews on Friday. Meanwhile, I have to apologize that we couldn't play Lowell Ponte's interview this morning because of the hang-up we had on segment 1. So we'll get to Lowell next week. We actually have a couple of good interviews with Lowell. He is the co-author of several books with Craig Smith. I mentioned those to you at the top of the show. Very important that we address that since we have a sponsor, Swiss America, which is offering these books. So here are the books. Don't bank on it. The Secret War on Cash and Lowell's most recent book, Money, Morality, and the Machine. And to get copies of those, we call 800-289-2646. That's 800-289-2646. And please mention that you did hear them on our program. Meanwhile, as Henry was just talking about, very good sign of underperformance here. We're looking at the Dow Transportation Average. I know you've been tracking that, but generally it's a good market leading indicator of sorts. Topped out the mid-month at 97.63, and it sold all the way down to 91.61 here in the past 2 weeks. So about 600 point correction in the Dow Transports. Also, I don't know if you noticed that the VIX index, the volatility index, hit, I believe it was a record number or near record number, 884. On Wednesday. Usually the lower that goes, that's a sign of euphoria in the market, and we seem to be getting that. At the same time, we're getting a little bit of underperformance elsewhere, as I mentioned at the top of the show. NASDAQ, S&P underperformed the last couple of days. So a lot of this could be end-of-the-month window dressing, maybe just investors piling into the Dow at the end of the month. We still have another trading day on Monday, and we'll see how all that unfolds. But I agree with Henry, that August-September time frame, but frankly, I would have thought it could even begin before now. We're getting awfully exuberant here to the upside. But at the same time, gold and silver seem to be acting okay here. I think pushing over 1,300 into the low to mid 1,300s is not unreasonable here. We are in a seasonally positive period through the summer, as I'm sure you're aware. Copper's been on the move here. We like copper. It's on our vrtrader.com recommended list. And then as a reminder, that's where you should go, folks, vrtrader.com for more information on my services. And that's also a sponsor of this program. So I don't want you touching the dial. We still have a lot of interesting guests on the show today, despite the little technical glitch here. On segment 3 here, we're going to have our good friend Sinclair No joining us once again. Don't touch your dial.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
You know, here we are talking about the CIA, the NSA, and top intelligence agencies. All of our sensitive secrets can be hacked. We now know that safety and privacy of our finances are over. I mean, how safe and private do you think your finances are sitting in the cyber world? Who hacked them? How about your stock accounts, your saving accounts, even your 401ks? Frankly, that's why I turned to Swiss America for answers about protecting the savage household finances and privacy. One book explained it all. Don't bank on it. 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646. It's a free book on exactly the topic we're talking about. And you'll learn how to protect your money against what even the CIA cannot protect. Please do it now. It's free. It's a book. 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646 for a free copy of the book. Don't bank on it. 800-289-2646.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the Internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Heart disease is on the rise. Clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol levels may not be fully detected by you, but the symptoms are there. Loss of energy, blood sugar spikes and drops, poor circulation, and irregular heartbeat are just a few of these that can alert you that something is wrong. Hear how Heart and Body Extract is making a difference in thousands of people's lives across America.
My blood pressure has normalized. My diabetes has totally improved.
Everyone is telling me now how much healthier I look, and I'm telling everyone how much healthier I feel. I recommend Heart and Body Extract to everyone.
Anybody over 40 in the North American continent should be using this product as a preventative to keep their cardiovascular system healthy.
Order your 2-month supply today by calling 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. Or order online, hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract, 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented My Pillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. My Pillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry My Pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's MyPillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com.
Welcoming back our regular and very special guest, Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the incomparable blog, EatTheBankers.com. Thank you again for joining us on this Saturday morning.
Well, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, Mark.
Well, banks are behaving badly again, Sinclair, and that's why I love doing this particular interview with you and covering some of the fun stuff that goes on out there. Just last week, we found out that charges were dropped after the whale accused J.P. Morgan or J.P. Morgan's Diamond of making him a fall guy. So suddenly, we might find out that maybe Diamond's closer to this event than originally revealed.
No, we're not going to find that out. It may eventually come out, but it won't come out through the courts. We're talking, of course, about the infamous London whale case, and it looks like it is falling apart. The whale himself, Bruno Ixel, was considered a key witness, Dimon of setting him up as a fall guy. A judge has dismissed charges against two former J.P. Morgan derivatives traders. Bruno Ixel's testimony, they say, could no longer be relied upon to prosecute based on a review of recent statements and writings made by Ixel, the London whale. They don't think they can trust him anymore, because he calls Jamie Dimon a fall guy. So how can he be trusted? Come on. I don't know where this is going. I don't think it's going to go very far. It's another one of these stories that suddenly kind of loses steam, loses momentum, and never quite makes it up to the CEO level. Surprise, surprise.
Right. Well, let's jump over to our good friends over at Wells Fargo. Department of Labor ordered Wells Fargo to pay a fine this past week. Let's talk about that one. $575,000. Small for a bank.
Oh, that's pocket change. They find that in the seat cushions. But this is money to pay to a whistleblower for past pay that was not paid, and she gets her job back. Well, I'm sure she's going to get a lot of promotions after this, yeah. This is one of the whistleblowers, worked in a branch in Pomona, California, fired after reporting misconduct. This was all related to the bank's fake accounts, how they just created about 2 million fake accounts out of thin air to make it look like sales were up. She brought this to their attention, brought it to management's attention back in 2011, raised concerns about it, did all the right things to blow the whistle, and she was fired. There were others that were fired as well, by the way. But now they say she's going to get her job back. They say that, but, it's not like it's going to happen tomorrow. Wells Fargo may end up clearing her personnel file, but the bank is also going to appeal the decision. So after waiting 6 years to get a job in banking again and get paid, wait a little bit longer.
Well, it was encouraging that happened anyway. Someone has to be held accountable for this and bringing it to the attention of the public. Maybe they'll rehire all those people. Meanwhile, this was an interesting...
But don't hold your breath.
Right. Okay. I guess we shouldn't. Well, let's see. We had some interesting stuff this past week. The Federal Reserve Open Market Committee wrapped up its 2-day monetary policy. So let's talk about that a little bit. It looks like they're going to begin trimming their balance sheet after all, huh?
That's right. As expected, they left the Fed funds target rate unchanged. No surprise there. They didn't give any specifics about trimming the balance sheet, but said it would be reasonably soon. So here's what we take away from it. The September FOMC meeting, the Fed will announce some details about trimming the balance sheet. Probably start actually selling off part of the balance sheet beginning in October. Then we can look for another interest rate hike probably at the December FOMC meeting. Now, selling off their $4.5 trillion balance sheet of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities is not going to happen over time. It will be a gradual process. They'll start small. They'll add to it each and every month, each and every quarter, get it up to a certain amount. They're not going to sell off everything either. They're not going to sell off $4.5 trillion worth, maybe $1 trillion, maybe a little bit more. When this really hits markets, I think, is probably 2018, late 2018. That's when everybody's going to look around and realize, oh, my goodness, the Fed has been selling a lot, and it's actually starting to impact the debt markets.
Yeah, it's going to be a real... real pressure for the markets, worrying about how they've been supported all these years and things change so quick. Maybe they're denying it right now. That's really it.
There's a lot of money that the Fed threw into the marketplace. A lot of money. And you can look at the chart of the S&P 500 and how the Fed has increased its balance sheet, and it's almost a mirror image. What happens when the Fed starts selling instead of continuing to buy and add to their balance sheet? I think it'll continue to be a mirror image of the charts.
Sinclair, thank you for joining us once again. Sinclair No from KFN 1510 Phoenix and author of the incomparable blog, EatTheBankers.com, and we'll have you back real soon next week. Thank you, Sinclair.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you again, Sinclair. Yes, banks behaving badly. We enjoy that segment very much on the Wall Street Raw program, and I really enjoy Sinclair having time to join us here with that. He puts a lot of work into that research. Meanwhile, let's talk about the tens of thousands of people who took out private loans to pay for college but have not been able to keep up payments. They may get their debts wiped away because of apparently some critical paperwork missing. The troubled loans, which totaled at least $5 billion, are at the center of a protracted legal dispute between the student borrowers and a group of creditors who have aggressively pursued them in court. And after they fell behind on payments, judges have already dismissed dozens of lawsuits against former students, especially wiping out their debt because documents provided proving who owns the loans are missing. A review of court records by the New York Times shows that many other collection cases are deeply flawed with incomplete ownership records and mass-produced documentation. Well, that didn't happen to me when I was in college. I had to pay off that loan. So I guess many student debtors out there might be holding their breath here that that loan won't be repaid. Meanwhile, let's quickly jump back to the markets here. You know, we have a different little schedule this week. Bitcoin, we didn't talk about that this past week too often. Bitcoin has been, the whole cryptocurrency sphere has been expanding almost geometrically here. I reported on the show at least 100 that I'm tracking on the internet, and if you go to vrtrader.com, we have a link that shows 100 that are trading intraday, but it turns out there's several hundred beyond that are out there trading. So there's a lot of volatility in that space. There's some adjustment coming in Bitcoin. Apparently a new factor called the fork might be unfolding this past week, might split off Bitcoin a bit into two separate currencies. We'll see if that takes into effect. But keep an eye on those cryptocurrencies. They're here to stay, particularly as Japan has legalized them. Don't touch your dial. We'll be back after the break with Jason Bond and Kyle Dennis.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years from My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-765-9681 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-765-9681. Again, that's 800-765-9681.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcoming a special guest to Wall Street Raw this Saturday morning, Jason Bond from RagingBull.com. Jason is a former educator and coach. He co-founded Raging Bull in 2017 and teaches stock trading at JasonBondPicks.com, where he streams his real money portfolio during market hours. Jason, there's a lot to talk about in a short period of time. Tell me a little bit about how you trade the market. I know you're fond of swing trades.
Yeah, Mark. Thanks for having me. First of all, swing trading is my favorite thing to do. I'm small cap based. I feel like that's where I have an advantage over the large cap stocks. And I'm staying away from day trading. I'm mostly swing trading, so 1 to 4 day full times there, latching onto momentum. And then when I find what I consider a diamond in the rough or just an overlooked small cap, I'll go long that one if I think I can capture a much larger return. So in those situations, I'm looking for 50% or even upwards of 100% returns, but those could be months to a year full time.
So you're looking also for oversold stocks that are beaten down on bad news, right?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite strategy. I'm one to come in and buy an oversold relative strength index. And so we're talking about, if we could visually look at a chart, a company that's had horrible news or horrible earnings, the stock has sold. Usually what I want to see is something that's fallen over 50% inside of a month. And then the momentum is starting to slowly shift towards the buyers. I'll come in, gobble up that bottom. I find that's probably one of the most accurate chart patterns to use on Wall Street because there's no profit takers left. And provided the company's not going out of business, usually they turn a corner and get some sort of short squeeze or have good news and the stock bounces. And that pattern works over and over in bull or downtrending markets.
Let's talk about what you like now. What stocks are you following?
All right, so on a long-term basis, because swing trade's probably hard to discuss here, but on a long-term basis, I'm in 2 particular stocks that I really like. One is Castle Brands on the Amex. It's ticker symbol ROX. This is a very interesting story. I've been in it since it was at $1, when they had really good news with Walmart stores. Essentially, long story short, they put their ginger beer on the shelves of 4,500 Walmart stores. The stock went bonkers. I picked it up at $1 at the time, and I've been riding it ever since. It's probably around $2 here. I'm holding on, and I don't usually do this often, but I'm holding on right now because I believe they're going to have another good round of earnings in September. They beat on their last call, so I believe they're going to have another good round. But a little carrot on the side here is they've employed some advisors to look at a takeover sale. We haven't heard anything on that, but it was put out on Bloomberg about 2 months ago, I believe. And, we're talking about Constellation Brands and other companies along that line looking at ROK. So if that develops, there could be a little bit of a premium there, too.
Jason, I want to thank you so much for joining us. We are going to have to pick up on another interview to go over your other favorite stocks. We're talking to Jason Bond from RagingBull.com. That's where you go for more information on Jason's service. And thanks for joining us this morning, Jason.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Welcoming back our friend Kyle Dennis, who's the Chief Biotech Strategist for RagingBull.com. A little bit about Kyle. He's an independent equities trader focused on uncovering undervalued stocks in the market, and he researches stocks which are under the radar and looks for supporting data about those stocks, which could foretell catalytic events. Kyle, thanks for joining us again this Saturday morning.
Thanks, Mark. Glad to be back.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in the biotech sector. You feel that there might be a little bit of pressure there coming off, or is it still there?
Yeah, I mean, long term, I think that we're still in a nice bullish uptrend. But I think lately the gridlock there in the biotech space and the government as a whole has been a net positive. But it's kind of got a little bit frothy from July. We've pretty much run up the entire month. The last couple of days we've seen a little bit of a pullback, and I think that's good because I like catalyst events, as you know, and upcoming there are a bunch in September that look pretty good to me, and I think that a nice pullback over the next 2 weeks might be a positive for the sector.
I failed to mention that Kyle's a graduate from UCLA and has a degree in biology, so looking at biotech stocks is not totally left field for you, is it?
Definitely not, and I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years now, so I know the sector quite well.
So let's talk about some ideas. What are you focusing in on?
Well, like I mentioned last time, I do like that VSAR, which has some data coming in September. I also like a company called, the ticker is NEOS, Neos Therapeutics. It is, they have an ADHD drug, which is coming on September the 15th, an FDA approval date. So I'm expecting that one to run up quite a bit, maybe get to $7.50 a share or so. Right now it's trading at $6.55, but need some nice upside on that name.
And I believe you mentioned Gilead on a previous interview. That's done really well. That's coming off a big bottom.
Yeah, that one ran up with the sector as well, but I thought it was pretty undervalued at the time with the amount of cash they have on their balance sheet, and it had some good news, some good earnings, so things look pretty good there. Like I said, I expect a little bit of a pullback in some names just because we've gone straight up for about a month and a half or 2 months. So I expect that one to maybe pull back, but I still do like it long term.
Kyle, what's the best way for our listeners to get in touch with you?
The best way is to go to my website called biotechbreakouts.com, or you can email me directly at kyle@biotechbreakouts.com.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Kyle Dennis from biotechbreakouts.com. He's also with RagingBull.com, and it's a pleasure having him back on the show, and we're happy to hear those great biotech ideas. Talk to you real soon, Kyle. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you, Jason, too. We pre-taped those interviews on Friday as well. Meanwhile, speaking of biotech and related markets, as you know, the cannabis vice sector has been recovering here a little bit. We had a little bit of a pullback in the last couple, 3 months, but many of them, particularly the Canadian names, came to life here in the last couple, 3 weeks. And some of the big names like Canopy Growth, which has the ticker symbol WEED in Canada, start to recover here a little bit, and that's still a big focus for me, particularly with regard to my Cannabis Vice newsletter. We also saw a big break in the tobacco stocks on Friday. The FDA is trying to restrict the amount of nicotine in the cigarettes out of the blue, and suddenly Altria, that's ticker symbol MO, and Philip Morris International, PMs, nosedived on Friday. Frankly, I think it's a big buying opportunity for both of those. These are names on our recommended list, and the connection there is with the cannabis industry, because my feeling, based on a lot of research, is that, we're going to see Philip Morris, Altria, and Philip Morris International possibly, as well as other countries legalize it. We just saw medical marijuana approved in Mexico, Uruguay, for example, other places. And Cyprus, I think, also approved it this past week. So the big names like Philip Morris are going to be in that space. So, the big profits are coming for these companies, and whether nicotine is more or less a factor in cigarettes, people are going to be smoking marijuana, and you're going to see, of course I'm speculating, Marlboro cigarettes in your corner 7-Eleven, and they're marijuana-based, not nicotine-based. So that's coming in the future, maybe a 5-year comment, but something which I think is definitely down the road. So, we do track those, and we're pretty aggressive about those in our Cannabis Vice letter. And I know there's a lot of concern out there about Jeff Sessions and whether he's going to impose more stringent guidelines on the cannabis industry, but I think states' rights will prevail, and ultimately it's a medical marijuana play, and the FDA is involved, and a big name, which is also on our recommended list, GW Pharmaceutical, is something that is going to get approved in our opinion, and all the names that they're working on, all their products that they're working on. So my interest is medical marijuana. A lot of the research is coming out of Israel, and I'm following that very carefully as well. I think that's going to be a big, big plus coming forward. We read a long account last week's show. You may want to check it where we go over those aspects. Well, anyway, thank you for tuning in on this Saturday on Wall Street Raw, and we close our show each week as our old friend Ed Hart used to do back in the 1980s, 1990s. As we say as he did, we will know in the fullness of time.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Out, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
Are you looking to become more self-sufficient? Then you need to have your own energy source. The SolarK EMP hardened generator is automatic, maintenance-free, and reduces your monthly electric bill. You can also take it off-grid when you go camping. Contact PortableSolarLLC.com or call for details at 972-575-8875 today. Portable Solar LLC gives you everything you need to start using solar energy in less than 1 hour. SolarK EMP hardened solar generator energy insurance for your family or business. Call Portable Solar LLC today.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, There's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX or my website, danpilla.com.